Okay. Hello, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of The Prefix. Today is a different episode. It's not a preview as such. Kind of is, but not. But it is kind of a reaction. It's that time of the season again. It's the final countdown, the end of the road, the finish line, the last hurrah. So I thought it would be interesting for me to go over Chelsea's run of games because we have a very, very tough run of games, if not the toughest in the league. We have all the toughest teams right in this crunch time. Plus, we have two other competitions we're playing in. So I'm going to divide this into two parts. Let me know if you want to see that second part. Obviously, Chelsea are in decent form. We just played against Porto. We did lose that game, but it was a game that we went into with the idea of game management, solidify the defense, make sure nothing comes through, and obviously they scored a wonder goal, an absolute beauty. You have to give credit where credit is due. That was a mad goal. That was a crazy goal, and that's probably going to be up there with the best goal this season in the Champions League. So I'm going to be looking at each upcoming fixture as realistically as possible, and I'm going to try and see how far we can actually go in both the competitions and how many points we can rack up in the Premier League. The first one is going to be Manchester City. The game is tonight at 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Manchester City is right now, I feel, the best team in the world. At the moment, they are the best team in the world. I think it would be different if they had fans in the stadium, obviously. But this team has been working with Pep for the last 4 or 5 years now. They understand his system wonderfully, and I think they play one of the best positional play systems in the world right now. I think in terms of their system, I think having no natural striker or no natural number 9 kind of works for them, because it confuses teams. They don't know who to mark. They don't know who to pressurize. They don't know who to stay tight to. They don't know who's going to be drifting into that striker role, because that they keep moving around. And I think Thomas Tuchel has literally plucked a page from Pep's system and has been using it in Chelsea's system. Obviously, we don't have the inverted fullbacks, but we do have wider fullbacks who enable a different kind of system and provide a different kind of threat. Now, which is better, which is worse, we will know tonight. But City have a great system. They have a great system in place. They have great players. I mean, they bought great players, except Phil Foden. This one's very tough, because while I think that Chelsea are in relatively decent form, the Crystal Palace game was excellent. I do think that City are very much the favourites. They're very much the favourites going into this game. They're coming off a win against Dortmund, a very, very tough win. And they had a very solid defense and a fluid attack for the entire season. I have no illusions about how good City are and how good they can be, but they have been cracked before, and that's just football. They've been cracked by Manchester United, who I consider to be a worse team than Chelsea at the moment. This is not like a biased thing. I just feel like with their style of play, it's like a mid-table team style of play, which is solely counter-attack and pace and things like that. And the nature of which they got knocked out of the Champions League, their start to the season, all these factors make me think that they are pretty much a worse team. They have momentum on their side, which is why they're winning these games. They also have a 26-game unbeaten away record, which I think would not be possible if there were fans in the stadium. But it is what it is. So this is why I think Chelsea do have a chance. It could be that one of those days for City. It definitely could be one of those days. And I think Chelsea have the personnel to make sure that happens. We've been doing that. We've been frustrating teams right from the time we played Atletico Madrid. So it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Um, but my prediction for this game is definitely a City win, because I do think that this could be part of a bigger picture. I think this could be a trial run for the All English Champions League final. Obviously, let's see if that happens. Who knows? But I do think that City will win this game 2-1. Yeah, it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough to call that, and it's a bit harsh on Chelsea. But you look at the dominance in their performances. It's not just having a solid defense and having a good attack. It's just the way they dominate teams. You look at the way they lost to Leeds. Although they lost to them, they had around 30 shots. 30 shots. Absolutely insane. So they've been dominating teams. So it's going to be a very, very difficult game to play, because obviously Chelsea side is a very, very new and young side playing in a new system under a new manager. The average age of our front three is like 22, 23 years old, which is crazy. We take that for granted. This is a very, very young team that need time. Mason Mount and Chilwell just scored their first Champions League goal. City have players who've been scoring, maybe they're 15, 16. Raheem Sterling is there. Kevin De Bruyne is there. He won awards for the Champions League last season. So, it's a different. There are levels to this game, man. You have to accept it, and you have to also accept it with its chances. Chelsea do have a chance that they could turn this around and put in a great shift against City. This could happen. It's football. So, but I'm going to stick to my prediction. It's going to be a 2-1 victory to City tonight. It's going to be disappointing, but it is what it is. Moving on, the next game we have is against Brighton. Brighton, who have been in the Premier League. Now, Brighton play a very good expansive football. They have some good attacking players, and they have some great threats up front that could really hurt you on the break. Not just the break. I think they have some decent build-up play. I've watched a few games, especially the one against Manchester United, which I think they should have drawn, because that was definitely a penalty on a foul from Harry Maguire again on Danny Welbeck. But you know what it is. We are fucking bullshit. But they have some threats up front. But we saw what happened against Crystal Palace. When you have a reliance on one or two players to do everything for you, we have the likes of Reece James, we have the likes of N'Golo Kante, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, who are absolute monsters on the field. They will hunt you down and they will block you off and they will bully you on the field to make sure you don't get a sniff. This will allow us to imprint our system on this game, play through Brighton's press, which we have been doing a lot. We've also started playing a very good counter-attacking football, some good movements, some good patterns of play that have been proving to be very, very lethal, especially with the front three that we have right now. Pulisic, Mount and Havertz, just causing havoc, man. Just causing havoc in the opposition box. So, I wouldn't sleep on Chelsea. This is definitely a game to be won. I'm guessing a 2-0 or 3-0 victory is incoming. The next fixture we have is against West Ham. West Ham United are killing it right now. Absolutely killing it right now. Look at the way Jesse Lingard has resurrected his career. He's looking like a different baller right now, honestly. Looking very, very comfortable in that counter-attacking system. This could be a season-defining game for Chelsea. For Chelsea and for West Ham, honestly, because they are equally as close to fighting for top 4 as Chelsea right now. But if you look at the teams through their styles of play, Chelsea is kind of West Ham's worst matchup. They Chelsea is West Ham's worst matchup, honestly. You look at the team that wants to exploit spaces, hit you on the counter attack, and and um, a team that also likes to build, a team that likes to build play. They do rely on their counterattacks, but they've started to build a lot of play with Declan Rice in the middle, with Mark Noble, with a lot of these players, Ben Rama, with Bowen. They're not just counter-attacking players. You have Antonio who drops quite deep to create passing patterns. And then you have a team like Chelsea who smother you with possession. Their counter press is very, very intense. They often get the ball back very, very quickly. And when you have possession, you concede less. So, and it's not like we haven't been playing teams. We've been playing teams, counter-attacking teams this whole time under Thomas Tuchel. Atletico Madrid, Tottenham, Manchester United, Porto in the first leg. We've been playing defensive-minded teams for a very long time, and now we've learned how to break them down. So this is not going to be anything new for us. This is definitely going to be a game that we could utilize our massive squad, different systems. Because of the personnel we put up, we have huge talent up front that could be rotated almost on a daily, on a game-to-game basis, and will still perform because everybody's fighting for their position. West Ham do not have this. They don't have this luxury in their squad, and that's going to be the downfall. And that's why Chelsea deserve to win this game. Predict a comfortable 2-0 victory. West Ham do have a very leaky defense, very leaky defense. I think the last 3 games they were 2-0 up, 3-0 up, and they conceded 3 or 2 goals and had a very rocky finish. But that's going to be the downfall. Chelsea's not going to be the one who's going to concede very many goals. They're going to be the ones to absolutely tear that defense apart. The next game is the all-important one. It is Real Madrid. It is the toughest game to predict, honestly. Because Real Madrid have massive experience all throughout the positions in their squad, in the striker, in terms of Benzema, in midfield, Modric and Cruz, in defense, in Ramos and Varane, and all throughout the team they have vast experience, especially in the Champions League. And Zidane has won the Champions League multiple times. However, Madrid have looked their weakest in a very long time. A shell of the team that they once were this season. And that is why I feel that Chelsea will absolutely wipe the floor with Madrid. With our rock solid defense and our attack shaping up in terms of grabbing a few more goals, building a few more passing patterns, creating fluid play, good passing movements, a better understanding among players. It's just improvements every single time we play. Real Madrid aren't ready for that. They aren't ready for that. Especially if they still have Ramos injured. They have Varane out for COVID. I think they have zero chance at affecting Chelsea. I think it'll be like that Atletico Madrid game. They'll be too far back in their own half, defending Chelsea's intense possession play to even get a shot on target. I think that's the way it's gonna go. I don't think it's very difficult to imagine Chelsea just walking over Madrid and walking straight into that final spot. I predict a comfortable 2-0 victory in the first leg, and we kill them off in the second leg. The next game we have is against Fulham. Fulham have been playing some decent football, but I just said we're gonna beat Madrid. Of course we're gonna beat Fulham. It's gonna be a rampage, dude. It's gonna be ugly, because I'm predicting a 3 or 4-0 victory, honestly. We're a different side now. Since we last faced them. And they're not going to have Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing against us because he's a Chelsea player. He can't play against his parent club. He's been one of the main creators for them. It's the end for them. Let me know what you want to see next. I'm excited for the game today because I feel like it could be one of those days where we pull a very big upset on City, ruin the Citizens' days. If you liked this video, let me know if you want to see a part 2 down in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the like button while you're there. Subscribe if you are new. We're on the road to 100 subscribers right now, and I will see you in the next one.